Hello, sir. Thank you, sir. Enjoy your trip.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Enjoy.
Shall I put them at the top for you now? Yeah. You won't forget them though, will you? This is from Goodwood travel. It's gifts for you, alright?
One ear.
Yeah, it's just here by the door. Right, thank you. Should we put these up for you as well, sir?
Yes.
There we go. And you're sitting in here, right?
Sorry,
we'll take care of that. There you go. Would you like me to take it for you? Well, in a minute, I'll take one of you too, perhaps.
That's very sweet of
I'm heading to Noisbury, then actually turn to the left and head toward the harbour coast, and then to the centre, and the Bristol Channel into Rome. Weather there is basically weather here.
They're going to be very busy, boys, moving the aircraft over to London, so I'll be giving you some technical details about the aircraft and also describing the route which will be taken back home to London this evening. Dave Toastry, the flight engineer, is starting the engines at the moment. He's got one started, and as he gets the other started, we get the air conditioning on, and that will cool you down very, very quickly. So I apologise if you're a bit sort of sticky at the moment, but we will get the cabin temperature down very, very quickly indeed. It's a wonderful evening for your flight. We're going to get superb views, both the French and English coastlines, I should think. Lovely weather for a takeoff. We're going to take off on the easterly runways here at Charles de Gaulle, and they'll be climbing ahead to about 10,000 feet, and then making a left turn, climbing out over northern France, heading northwesterly over to the town of Le Havre. Initially we'll be climbing to an altitude of 26,000 feet, a mark number of decimal 0.95. That's 95% speed of sound. We cannot go supersonic straight away on this aircraft, because as we break the sound barrier, we cause a sonic boom, and it's what we call a boom carpet that goes down on the ground, and it's rather like having a sort of shotgun bolt about 50 yards away, so it's quite unpleasant. Therefore, when we go at supersonic speeds, we have to be over the sea or unpopulated areas, rather like deserts, I guess, or you know, over the North Pole, something like that. That would be possible, but we certainly don't go supersonic over Northern Europe. We don't like it. I don't think farmers like it very much either. So there you are. That gets over to Le Havre. Once we get past Le Havre, we go out into the English Channel, and once we're about 20 miles out into the Channel, we've then got enough space to accelerate to supersonic speeds. So they then commence the acceleration, heading due west out towards the Atlantic Ocean, and we'll be climbing and accelerating all the time. And once we get to about 50,000 feet, we'll achieve Mach 2, twice the speed of sound. That's our cruising Mach number, and that equates to 23 miles a minute. A mile every 2.5 seconds. It's the speed of a rifle bullet. It's a phenomenal achievement, and this is a truly wonderful, unique aircraft. So something special we're going to experience this evening. So we keep on climbing, and eventually we get up to about 55,000 feet, holding Mach 2, twice the speed of sound. And eventually we'll make a right turn when we get about 80 miles to the southwest of the City Isles, turning right all the way around until we come back in, heading up towards the Bristol Channel. And sometimes before we get to North Devon, a place called Crewe Martin, about 40 miles before there, we have to be subsonic for the same reasons we can't go be supersonic over land I told you about earlier on. So we decelerate the aircraft rather rapidly, and we're subsonic about 40 miles before Crewe Martin. We're then coming subsonic over southwestern England. And we also go over the town of Filton near Bristol, and that's where the British aerospace hangars are, where Concorde was built many, many years ago. And once we've gone over there, we head out over Avon, Wiltshire, and then sort of Berkshire basically, until we came to a place called Oldham, which is just in the south of London Airport. And from there we begin our final approach to London Heathrow. However, at London Heathrow, it's not quite as nice as this. It's sort of slightly overcast, about 17-18 degrees centigrade. So a nice, just dry evening. There's no rain anywhere, so we're in for pleasant flight conditions throughout the flight. I'm going to be quiet now, give the cabin crew an opportunity to demonstrate all the safety equipment to you, which I know they'll be delighted to do. They're a super bunch of people, so pay very special attention to them. And once they've completed their briefing, I'll come back and tell you more about the aeroplane, about what we're going to do. So thanks very much for listening.
Gentlemen, we're now going to introduce our procedures. The safety card of your seat area shows details of escape route, oxygen masks, and line check-ins. It also shows the racing position, which you must stop to landing. Please don't hesitate to ask.
Have this delta wing to go at supersonic speeds, unlike the laminar sort of airflow wing you find on conventional aircraft. The reason for that is we have to have the capacity to store great amounts of fuel. This is a very thirsty aeroplane, Concorde. And also, we want a very rigid wing on a supersonic aircraft due to the shockwave formation and the stresses that are involved with supersonic flight. And that's the reason we have a delta wing. And also, it's pretty. It's nice to look at. It's a much more elegant aircraft than what conventional aircraft are. It's quite beautiful. And we're all very proud of it. Nice looking aircraft. So that's the aircraft itself. It's 202 feet in length, and it's got a wingspan of 84 feet. And to put that in perspective, that's about the same length as a jumbo jet, but the wingspan is only about a third that of a jumbo jet. So the Delta gives it a completely different appearance. I'll say a very elegant aircraft. The aircraft's powered by 4 Rolls-Royce Olympus gas turbine engines, with the addition of a reheat power. Normally these engines produce 32,000 pounds of thrust, however with the addition of reheat this goes up to 38,000 pounds. That's a 20% increase in the drive thrust levels. And it's this thrust that will accelerate you down the airfield very, very quickly indeed tonight. You'll enjoy the takeoff. It's quite sporting, to put it mildly. It's a thrilling experience for you all. I'm sure you'll all enjoy it. How does reheat work? As I said, it's unique to a civilian aircraft. It's only ever found on military fighters. Those of you who are watching television and looked at this, what reheat is, and basically it's a secondary combustion process. So once we've been through the jet engine core once with the air, we inject fuel into the tailpipe of the engine and then ignite it and create a secondary fire in the tailpipe. And this gives us the 20% increase in thrust, and it also looks very good at night. And it's the only downside of it, it's very, very noisy. So we're using reheat for takeoff tonight, but we'll only be using it for 1 minute, and we'll cancel it at about 1,000 feet above the airfield, and that's out of kindness to the people who live in the surrounding area. I want to keep it as peaceful as possible for them. Okay, so we're just about to line up for this Aer Lingus aircraft. You can see on the right-hand side, there's passengers out there. Another reason why we only use reheat for 1 minute is the fuel flow. Due to the shape of the Delta wing, we also have a slightly faster takeoff speed than a conventional aircraft with laminar flow wings. Okay, the good people in Charleston calling and there's clearance for takeoff, so in a moment Adrian, the captain's operating this sector, so he says 3, 2, 1, and he just slams the thrust levers open.
Not enough room for it.
Not a lot to see here really, not too high. $54,000 feet at the moment. Mark 2.
Power of the engines now, it'll be like hitting the brick wall. So we take it off in 3 goes and slowly decelerate the aircraft. And already we've go down to Mark 1.9.